Good afternoon, YouTube. This is man always George Page, aka the Emperor of WMMA Talk, coming to you live on YouTube. Well, last night the PFL had their uh, World Championships event, and I watched it. It came on cable. Some fights I missed. Well, one fight in particular I really want to see. I missed. It was on the ESPN Plus streaming app, and I don't do streaming. And that was between Julia the Bud, Julia the Jewel Bud versus Caitlin the Striking Viking Young. So anyway, you know, I watched three fights on this card. I didn't watch the rest because like I said, we be into the guys that much, and most of the time, most of the come those fights you pretty much can predict. But anyway, on the fight were I think the two biggest fights for women MMA, and that was the Hype Job Harrison, Caitlin Harrison, versus Taylor Gordano. But then this fight also was on the same card, and it was like the I think it was the second last fight to the main card, and that was Claressa T-Rex Shield versus um, uh, Abigail Montes. And the big attention because who Shields is, being one of the most successful women in boxing, she was a big star. This was the fight that everybody was looking forward for, and it was a 3 round fight. And it was on social media, Chris Shields been talking that she's gonna beat Abigail Montes, and I feel like she has a good chance. But Montez is still a young, up and coming fighter, and she might also have a chance. But I think a lot of people like myself really felt that, most definitely, this was going to be Claressa Shields' fight. Well, it started off as simple. You had Abigail coming in, being the, I would say the challenger, and she's her records at the time was I think was 2-1, and this was going to be her fourth fight with the organization, like I think it's third or fourth fight with PFL, in her career. And this is going to be Chris's second fight. She is 1-0 with the PFL, and she debuted a few months back against Brittany Elkin. Well, it was pretty much just being a little standoffish and just pretty much feel each other out. Shields do some pretty hits, and Montez took some of those hits. But then what happened was that Montez pushed Christian Shields against the cage. A few bit time, most time Montez had the control. A couple of times Chris got the control. But the thing is that Chris needed to work on her cage work. When you get your back against the cage, the judges are gonna look at that. That means you have control. And Chris Shields was pretty much fighting in the cage. She was throwing shots and knees, and and she was doing pretty good. But I think Abigail was just holding her. I think Abigail's a strong girl. You got to give her. She's 21 years old. And then by the time we get to the second round, Krista Shields was put up a good fight. She even hit Montez with a good shot, and Montez would have she would have been done if Krista didn't do what she should have done, which was um, take a step back. You know, let Montez get her bearings a little bit and then hit her again and attack the body and attack the head and the body. But what happened was that Montez got a takedown, and Carissa cannot fight off her back that well. She kind of struggled for a good bit, and I think she was getting instructions from the Winkle from I think was it John, was it Winkle John, one of the guys, or no, I think it was, or I think it was Jackson, one of the guys from the Winkle John gym, and she had a time struggling being on her back, but she did get up. But then by the third round, it was pretty much, I think, all Abigail Montes. Montez had a put against the cage again, and then got her second takedown. And then by then, she had gotten on top. And we get on top, it's you gonna ground and pound. Chris was fighting still from the bottom, but she still doesn't have great takedown defense. The takedown defense was decent for this fight. She had good takedown defense for this fight, but she just don't know how to fight off her back. And one point I think it would have stopped it, but it was close to the end of the third round, and pretty much it was over. And they showed here. This is the the count. And well, Taylor Condado, she put up a bigger performance with her striking. Um, you know, arm strikes were more by Claressa Shields. Oh, leg strikes are more by Godon, by sorry, by Montez, sorry. And then just she just was just superior. She just um Claressa Shields did not really have much other than a couple of good shots here and there. She didn't really have much to offer. So the fight goes to Abigail Montes. And this was her first win at PFL in the lightweight division. Congratulations. And Claressa Shields, this is her first loss in her entire combat sports career. No, her second loss. Her first loss as a pro, and her second loss in her entire career. She lost many years ago against Savannah Marshall, which is planned for an upcoming fight between her and Marshall. We don't know if this will affect that fight or not. It may not, because this is MMA, not boxer. And like I said, congratulations to Abigail Montes. She was smart. She was patient. She took the fight to the ground. She didn't keep it standing. She knew if she kept it standing, she wouldn't have a chance. Claressa is too much a headhunter. That's the problem. Claressa needs to know to work the body. If you get a good headshot, then that person will pick their hands up and protect their head, so they're going to focus too much on their body. And and Taylor, she used her superior. She was more the better wrestler. She used her. She was a stronger competitor when she put her in against the cage and held her there for pretty much for the good part of the fight. A lot of people I was watching on social media. I was on my man, the coach. He had a little color commentary last night, and a lot of people talking, especially the big boxing fans, how they felt like Chris Shields got robbed, and they felt like one person said that uh, Abigail was too busy like you know hugging up on Claressa Shields and referring to the situation as lesbian sex, but that wasn't. It was just a superior um, plan that Abigail had. So anyway, the other fight I missed was Julia the Jewel Bud versus Caitlin Striking Viking Young, and Julia won that fight by unanimous decision. And the fight we had, it was the main card fight. Hype Job Harrison won a second PFL title. She won a second PFL check, and she retained her lightweight championship by armbar by beating Taylor Godano. So that was predictable. So that's why I'm not going to do too much of a video on this situation. It was predictable. But I won't say that to Claressa Shields. I know this loss really hit her. And I know she's the type of person she'd probably go back, and she went to the back room. She probably cried and cried and cried. And that's the thing is, yeah, Chris is still young. She's 26 years old. She still is adaptable. But that's the thing is, Chris, you have to learn things you need to do. For once, one thing, if I was your management, or if I was really your coach, I would tell you, we need to leave Winkle John Gym. We need Jackson Wink. We need to leave Jackson Wink Gym. It's not the gym for you. It's a gym that's just using celebrity status. You're a big time boxing champion, and using your status. We need to go to a gym that will take you, that don't, see that you as a superstar, sees as another up and coming fighter. They will break you down and build you up. That's what you need to go. You need to work for Jackson Wink. Another thing is you need to work on your ground game. We mentioned before that Krista should do some of the BJ tournaments. She should have done those first to get acquainted to working on the ground. Also, a little wrestling will help her out. Also, I suggest also Muay Thai. Muay Thai is good. It's good for you when you're in the clinch. You can know how to use kicks. The thing also about PFL, you can't use elbows, and that's the hard part. Elbows is part of striking. And if she could have used elbows, she probably would have done pretty good. But Krista just needs some time. Like I said, there's that fight with Savannah Marshall is trying to work in, and maybe this still happens. Like I said, this is MMA, not boxing, and boxing is a different world compared to MMA. Even though they're both combat sports, they're both different worlds. But just go ahead and fight the fight with Savannah Marshall, and just take the year off. Don't do. I know she has contract with PFL. PFL sees a big star, so they probably won't give her a fight for a while. Let her settle out. It happened to Heather Harding. After I think her second fight, she took a bad loss, and even though she dropped out of MMA, But like I said, Hitler was much older compared to Claressa Shields, and Clarissa's still young. Maybe 3 or 4 more years, she gets a better skill set, and she has that time, being that she's only 26. But just you need to be smart and be adaptable. And also to those people out there who are hating because Claressa Shields lost. Well, how many of you have ever gotten to a MMA ring or a boxing ring? You know, just keep your mouth shut. She did what she could do, and she just doesn't have the skill set yet to be a superior MMA fighter. She's a great boxer. I'm not gonna deny that to her, but she's not, she's not at the level to be a decent MMA fighter. So she needs time, and that's what thing is. And also to those boxing channels that are like whining and crying because she got robbed. She didn't get robbed. She lost. And that's the thing. You got to take the good with the bad with your favorite fighter, and that's what I learned. I support Claressa Shields. I'm a fan of Claressa Shields, but this is something she has to learn, and she has to adapt and and change the plan. Like I said again, get away from the Jackson Wink gym. You don't need to be around drunk Holly Holmes. You don't need to be around John Jones. He can't get right. And you don't need to be around Michelle Watterson doing TikTok. You need to be a gym that will build you up and break you down and build you up and make you a better fighter. This is me, always George Page, aka the Emperor of WMA Talk. Don't like, subscribe. I'm out.